So question 1 is, what do I expect out of my day? This is a good question because as a former probation officer, a PO, you can never expect your day to go as planned because we're dealing with humans and crises occur. What a crisis is to one person is not always a crisis to me, but to that other person who's dealing with the emotions and the problems, the family issues, it is a crisis. But the basic expectations of the workday are to balance helping people, which is the fun part of the job, and the other side is dealing with the paperwork, not so fun part of the job. So question 2 is, how many offenders do I see in a day and track their progress? Generally, the POs see 4 or 5 kids a day. They have about 30 kids on their caseload. They'll see 4 or 5 in the office. Whatever cases go to court, they'll see those kids, and then they go see the youth that are in detention a couple times a week. We often rely on the parents to call and report violations, but if the parents don't call the probation counselors, the PO needs to contact the parents at least once a month. The low-risk offenders we see once a month. The moderate offenders need 2 contacts per month, and the high risk require 3. And those are minimums, not actuals. Am I going too fast for interpreter?
No,
okay.
You're just great. Thank you. I was just making sure.
Yeah, no. No problem. Question 3 is, how much time do you spend in the field or in the office? Most POs spend a lot of time in their office, but 2 of the probation officers travel. One goes to Chelan, one goes to Leavenworth, so they're gone the full day. The FFT therapist, which I'll explain in a few minutes, she is gone most of the time out of the office, in the homes doing counseling. Question 4, how do you ensure your safety? In the 23 years of working here, we've never had a probation officer assaulted. However, we do a number of things to ensure safety, some of which are as follows. We have the probation officers tell us when they're going out to do a home visit. They'll let us know where they're going. They'll have cell phones with them. Whenever we are arranging our offices, we make sure that the kid, the youth offender, the parent, making sure that the offender has access to the door. You don't want to block somebody's their exit when they want to leave. They're mad. Next, we don't have the probation officers arrest the youth. We leave that to the police officers. We have the legal right to arrest them, but we don't carry guns. The cops do. That's why we let the cops do all the arrests. We also have regular trainings for the staff on how to de-escalate situations, because it's a whole lot easier to verbally de-escalate than it is to physically de-escalate the situation. We have trainings, even in detention, the juvenile jail. The staff are fairly safe. There's, in the years I've worked there, there might have been 3 or 4 or 5 fights between kids, but problems, physical altercations with the kids in detention. are extremely rare. Question 5. What are the necessary qualifications for the job? The job requires a minimum of a 4-year degree, whether it's psychology, sociology, the social sciences, the criminal justice. Those are usually the type of degrees that the probation officers have. The probation officers all must attend and pass a 3-week training academy put on by the state, have a driver's license, pass a criminal history background check, and take a polygraph examination. Law enforcement is one of the few professions in the United States under law that can polygraph their prospective employees. Question 6. Do you have likes or dislikes about this profession? So I'll start with the things I like. The job varies regularly. One day you're in court, then you're at the school, you're doing counseling. Got lost. You're working with law enforcement, with judges, attorneys, parents, mental health counselors, chemical dependency and treatment providers, so the job varies all the time. We also have a program called Functional Family Therapy, where we have a full-time therapist who goes into the homes and counsels the entire family, not just the youth. Because a lot of the times the problems are due to the system, not just youth acting out. And I'll add that it has a 42% recidivism, a reduction in recidivism. Recidivism meaning not reoffend. We also have a 10-week course called Aggression Replacement Training. An ART is a 10-week program where we bring the kids in for an hour and a half, 3 times a week, and teach them social skills, anger management, and moral reasoning. What else do I like? I love it when youth succeed and we can make their future a little happier, a little brighter. Yeah. Dislikes. It's really stressful when you build relationships with kids and their families and the youth reoffends or continues to make bad life choices. It's tough when we try to connect with the youth and they're resistant because they've been so hurt by the people in their lives in the past that they don't trust us. The job can have so much to do and not enough time to do it. And that always causes stress. Also, the situations we deal with are serious. We deal with suicide, divorce, poverty, just the crimes themselves, physical abuse, mental abuse. And when we deal with it on an ongoing basis, it's stressful. Number 7, what is your preferred treatment plan for the offenders? Well, that's pretty simple. Build a relationship of trust. We get the youth and hopefully their parents to recognize that they have problems, then want to have a desire to fix them, and then take action steps based on their desire rather than simply having the youth follow the court order. Number 8, what made you choose this profession? Well, I was going to be a private therapist. That was my goal. And I started on a 1-year grant working with the juveniles and fell in love with it and never left. I was working on my master's degree at the time, and again, I planned to be a therapist, but love the, back to your question, what do I like about the job? It's the diversity that we're acting like cop 1 second and a counselor the next, and we're working with the schools and creating a education plan and working with the parents. That's why I chose it. Question 9. How effective do you feel that this profession is towards offenders? Well, 85% of the youth who are arrested never return again. They're young and dumb. And 15%, though, take up most of our time. We spend most of our resources. They're the kids who continually go back to detention. And yeah, they're difficult. But with that, with the 85%, we're very pleased with that. Question 10. This is the most interesting, but I don't have an answer. Juvenile crime is drastically reducing or decreasing. In 1999, Chelan County had about 600 offenses. Now we average about 170. Juvenile crime is decreasing nationally in Washington State and here in Chelan County, but nobody knows why. There's been a number of research programs trying to figure it out, but nobody knows.